Detective Sherlock Holmes's associate, Dr. Watson, is brilliant, but he often misses the obvious. Once Holmes and Watson are on a camping trip. In the middle of the night, Holmes wakes up, nudges Watson and says, "Look up and tell me what you see." Watson replies, "I see millions of stars." "And what do you conclude from that, Watson?" asks Holmes. Watson thinks for a moment and says, "Well, astronomically, it tells me that there are millions of galaxies and potentially billions of planets. Astrologically, I observe that Saturn is in Leo. Horologically, I deduce that the time is approximately 3:15. Theologically, I see that God is all-powerful and we are small and insignificant." What does it tell you, Holmes?" And Holmes replied, "Watson, someone has stolen our tent." Like Watson, we sometimes miss the obvious. So did the Jews in today's gospel passage. John tells us who Jesus is on every page of his gospel. In the prologue, he presents Jesus as God in the flesh. In chapter 1, he presents as God, Lamb of God, Son of God, Messiah, King of Israel, and Son of Man. And in chapter 2, Jesus performs the first sign, changing water into wine. Chapter 3, Jesus is the unique Son of God that the Father sent into the world for human salvation. And in chapter 4, Jesus is the living water. Chapter 5, Jesus reveals his right to do the works of God on Sabbath and be honored as God. Chapter 6, Jesus feeds the multitude and declares that he is the source of life. Chapter 7, Jesus promises the Spirit. In chapter 8, he asserts that he existed before Abraham. In chapter 9, Jesus cures the blind and reveals he is the light of the world. And today's chapter 10, Jesus says he is the good shepherd, the door to salvation. Despite these apparent indications, the Jews want Jesus to tell them plainly if he is the anointed one, the Christ, the Messiah. And fascinatingly, they ask this question during the feast of Hanukkah, the festival of the dedication of the Jerusalem temple. So the Jews probably had the Maccabean revolt at the back of their mind and expected Jesus Christ to overthrow the Romans as the Maccabees overthrew the Alexandrian troops. They saw what they wanted to see. They missed the works Jesus did in his Father's name. They missed the voice of the shepherd. Let us ask ourselves, does anything prevent us from recognizing Christ as our true shepherd?